What is good, TDG Nation? It's Dogma here presenting NBA Live Mobile. I'm going to be playing head-to-head in this episode, and I really want to make a series out of this. What I want to do with this series is talk about a player that I'm using or playing against, and in this case, we're going to start off with, I believe he's my best card, in Russell Westbrook. Russell Westbrook, when he came into the league, straight out of UCLA, I believe, was just a force to be reckoned with. He's always been good. He's had, really, the only time people weren't talking about him was his rookie season, but even then, he was still making a lot of noise. And he made a finals appearance very early on in his career, which I think helped him to blossom into the mature player that he is now, because he was defeated in that finals, but he still had pretty good performances, I would say, overall. I have no idea how I missed that shot. Anyways, yeah, Russell Westbrook, without a doubt, is the most athletic point guard in NBA history. Not today, not of this generation, just in history, because there's no one else that can compare. The way I see Russell Westbrook is like, if he doesn't end up winning a championship, which I think he will one day, I see him like an Allen Iverson, not because of his ball handling skills or anything like that, but just the way he carries himself. The infamous practice line by Iverson is pretty comparable to when Russ was getting interviewed after one game, and he was like, "What are you talking about, bro?" Like that was one of the funniest interviews I've ever seen, and we dropped the 3 there. But yeah, Russ, I like his demeanor. It's very old school. I like the way he handled his contract extension, or rather his free agency situation, where he just ended up signing with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think he likes the area that he plays in. I don't think that he feels the need to relocate, and that's why he signed it, because we crossed him up. What a lot of people fail to realize is that when you're playing for a team, it's not just about the basketball. You have to have some sort of life there, because if you're just thinking about basketball, you're going to burn yourself out. And even like Michael Jordan was big on gambling and things like that. He had his hobbies, but I have no idea what Russ is into, but I've always had respect for Russ. I felt like he's always carried himself pretty well. He's a really good offensive player and defensive player. Very underrated defensive player, if you ask me, because he'll easily get overshadowed by a Kawhi Leonard or people like that, but that's a problem across the league. Let's see if we can get a steal here or some type of stop, because the AI in this game doesn't like to hold it to the last shot, as you can see there. So now we have plenty of time to get off his shot. And let's see if we can size him up. Yeah, beautiful. Oh, we missed that terribly. But yeah, Russell Westbrook, always really good numbers. Doesn't really get seen as a true point guard for whatever reason, even though I think he's one of the better passers in the league. And I feel like that'll change as his career progresses, because at some point, I'm not saying it's guaranteed, but at some point you got to think that his athleticism will diminish. But even then, if it's anything like LeBron James's case, it won't diminish by that much, and we'll still be able to see freak plays such as the block that we saw in the NBA Finals from LeBron. But who knows, we might see a bunch of posters when Westbrook is in his 30s. That's the only issue people have with, or have had with him consistently, besides the constant turnovers and things like that. But that's normal for his position, simply because he has the ball in his hands a lot. And yeah, what I was saying is that, what was I saying? I don't know, I got totally sidetracked there. But yeah, people just dislike Russ because they think that he's more of a 2-guard and he takes all these crazy shots. But if you ask me, he really should be doing that, especially now, because he's the man on that team, and there's no dispute or anything like that about that. It's pretty obvious that Russell Westbrook is the best player on the Oklahoma City Thunder. It's no longer who's better, him or Durant, because we saw what he was able to produce when Durant wasn't on the team due to injury. And now that he has full control over the offense and is pretty much going to be the number 1 go-to guy, besides maybe a Victor Oladipo, because I think Victor Oladipo is a really good offensive player as well. Oops, I got blocked there. I feel like his numbers are just going to blossom into something great. I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if Russell Westbrook averages 30 points per game this season, simply because he's going to be taking more shots. He's going to feel more comfortable with the ball. and he's a really good offensive player. I think he handled the whole KD thing pretty well because he didn't insult KD specifically. He just said that he wasn't offended by it, and I really appreciate that because that's something that we don't see in this league. Players tend to take things a lot more personally this time around. They don't really see it as a competition. They see it as more like this actual game that they're playing, and instead of an actual career. At least I think so, because some players are content with just staying with the paychecks and things like that. But Russ is a little bit different, where he didn't actually need like a beefy contract extension, and he still would have played in Oklahoma City. Oops, I gotta get a shot off here. That should be good. Yep. And yeah, I just feel like Russ is always gonna be a solid player, and I hope he wins the championship. Hopefully it's not in the area where LeBron is chasing all these rings. Or not chasing, but trying to get all these rings, because I do want LeBron to keep on winning. He's got a tough adversary in the form of the Golden State Warriors, but for both LeBron and Durant. But anyways, guys, that's going to be the video. Thank you guys for watching. I'm going to be continuing this with my, if I could pull it up. I'm going to be continuing this series with either Damian Lillard or Tim Duncan. So I'll decide between one of those in the next video. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Dogma out.